So, welcome back to another episode. And today we thought we'd talk about some of the strange things that have happened to us going to the movies over the years, going into the theater, the weird theater experiences we've had, and we've had a few.
Oh, goodness. You know, I'm sure that everyone's had a few, but I don't know. Are we like magnets for bizarre and strange human beings? I think we might be. Or maybe we're just more observant of these things than most people. But
It's so fucked up.
there are some very, very weird people that go to the movie theater.
Yeah. We got a couple of classics we told to each other over the years we thought we'd tell to you guys. And I'll just start it off back in, I think, God, when RoboCop, the original RoboCop came out. Me and my dad went to the theater. We were really excited to see the movie. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm seeing RoboCop. And there was all these rumors that RoboCop was a Japanese movie. And it was subtitled. It was all this bullshit. This is before the internet, when people just guessed. It was like really stupid.
Back when those kind of rumors were so awesome.
They were pretty cool. I was like, cool, I can't wait to see this. But we get to the theater and we're watching the movie, and I'm not even paying attention to who's in front of me or anything like that. But my dad just turns to me, he's like, oh my God, what is that smell? And I'm like, I know, what is that? And there's this, this sounds so bad, there was this hobo guy right in front of us, and I didn't know, a huge long gray beard, drinking out of a paper bag. I swear to God, how can you make this shit up? Drinking out of a paper bag, and he stinks like BO, and it's so horrible. And then we're just like, oh my God, we're enduring this through the whole movie. But he had one moment that was damn funny, and that was when there was one of the bad guys gets infected with like some toxic waste, and he's all
and he's melting.
He's all melting, and he's walking out, and all of a sudden the car drives up and smokes him, and he just explodes and splatters all over the car. And the hobo's like, "Yeah, RoboCop! Yeah!" And he starts freaking the fuck out during that scene, and I'm just like, and it's one of those things that I never ever forgot in the theater. It was like, why are you so excited by that scene? And it had nothing to do with fucking RoboCop. You know what I mean? It was just fucked up shit. He was just getting way too carried away. So, I don't know. That was my first weird experience in a theater. First.
That's a man who enjoys his movies.
He enjoys his fucking whiskey as well. Makes a movie a little bit better. Sure.
Well, I think my first one is... it was one of these situations. Star Wars Episode 1 had just launched, and it was the first day. Now, I didn't go to the midnight show. I didn't line up with the people in the tents. I went on, I think, the second day it was out, hoping the crowds would have thinned out.
Yeah.
Sold out theater. Fine. Went by myself. Fine. Got myself a seat in the middle, in the very back row. And for once, I was like, I'm going to go right to the back, up at the top, sit in the middle, and just, enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting there, and I'm just, again, before internet, before cell phones were all over the place, before smartphones and all that. So I'm just sitting, I'm relaxing, there's little slides going up on the screen, whatever. These two girls come in and sit down next to me, and they're like high school age girls. And they got the, the blonde hair and the, fancy brand, pick your brand name clothes. And they sit down, and they're like, oh my God, they're totally talking to each other, and like chatting, and all like really loud, but they're right next to each other, but they have to yell at everything. Oh my God.
Oh my
all
God.
the way through the previews. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Fine, through the slides, that's fine. The lights dim, through the previews. Okay, I'm one of those people, I love the previews.
Yeah.
Even when I guess I still rent movies.
Yeah.
Pardon me for being old. Yeah. But there was a shop that rents them, and I love the previews. All the way through them. And I was like, okay, but when the movie starts, it's fine. Just, you're here, you've been waiting for this. Enjoy. Screen goes dark. Lucasfilm logo comes up. And then, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and the fanfare begins. And right next to me I hear, oh my God, I can't believe they started with that again. And something inside of me just broke a little bit. And I turned to the girls and I said, excuse me, I haven't waited all these years and paid this money so I can listen to the two of you talk through the whole fucking movie. So shut up or leave, please. And they gave me this look like something they'd scraped off their shoe, and then they were silent for the rest of the movie. In retrospect, it might have been better to let them talk, but it's, but it's like, why do people do that? Why do you go to a movie so you can gossip with your best friend? You do that outside of Starbucks.
Honestly, I'm not going to tell the story. In one of my new Game Stuff episodes, I talked about going to see the Ghostbusters. And there was somebody talking up here. There was, a lady with 2 3-year-olds that were running around the theater with lasers coming out of their fucking shoes. It was insanity.
Why do you do that?
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. It was completely mental. And I don't know what it is with me and fucking people with BO in the theater. I mean, it's my biggest pet peeve. I went to see Lord of the Rings opening night, midnight, and I could not wait. I was like, I can't wait to do this. And this is before you could pre-book your seats.
Okay.
So you just I kind of went in and I was like, oh, there's no seats. So I'm looking and I'm like, oh, there's one seat here. I grab a seat. And all of a sudden, I'm not saying anything about large gentlemen or anything in that regard. I don't care. But a huge large gentleman sits on this side. Hey, no big deal. A huge large gentleman sits on this side. No problem. But they both stink like fucking BO. I mean, and I'm sitting there with my popcorn feeling very small. And I'm like, oh! And I'm like, this is the only way that I could see Lord of the Rings. It was perfect. And I enjoyed the movie even more because that's the way you have to enjoy a nerdy event.
Is it wrong that thinking about a Johnny Millennium Man-wich like that gets me a little bit warm in the special place? Is that a bad thing? That sounds sexy.
I don't know why. It didn't feel that sexy, but I had to make it into a sexy.
You had extra cushioning on your chair because of that, because you had pillows to your sides.
Oh my god.
That's just sexy. Yeah?
I always remember the one that you told me about, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I went to see the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and everyone's in the theater, we're all waiting. And the lights go down, and then the previews come up, and it is blurry. Like, it feels like somebody shot salt into one eye and then punched me in the other, and I just can't see a thing. Until the lights come back up, everything stops. And it's like 10 minutes, and everyone's looking around. Nobody's made an announcement. Nobody comes in and goes, oh, we're having technical difficulties. Please stand by. None of that. Just, we're all waiting, and then the lights go back down. I'm like, okay, here we go. Blurry. Lights back up.
Yeah.
Watching our watches. Lights go down, blurry. Lights come back up. And at this point, I'm looking around, and at the top of my voice, I just said, I'm waiting to be impressed, which was like the big tagline for the movie.
It was.
Everybody just started laughing and pissing themselves. And I couldn't help it. And then people like running over to high-five me for it. And then the lights went down, and it finally started. So they finally impressed me.
And there was this other weird fucking thing that happened when I went to see X-Men Last Stand. I'm sitting in the theater. I went down with Aaron and a few of our friends to see it back in the day. And the character Angel in it. This is the strangest thing I'd ever seen. I still can't wrap my head around it. I can't even believe I'm going to act this out. I'm sitting there watching it, and that Angel character goes by, flies in with the wings. The wings come out. And this guy jumps on, this is no joke, I wish I could jump up and do this. He jumped up on top of his seat and starts doing this to his girlfriend. Oh, oh, oh. And we're all sitting in the theater going, what's he doing? What? Wait, is he really doing that? Holy shit. And it was, and I'm like, am I into like drugs here? Like this is, and then he sits back down and the movie continues. And then at the very end of the movie, Angel flies by again and he's up there again. Oh, oh. Just totally playing it up, like on his seat, standing there, doing the wing motions, doing that fucking sound. I'm like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in the theater.
Whoever that guy is, I want him to be in every theater movie I go and see from now on.
Just do that randomly, you know? He should have gone to see Birdman. Fitting.
It would have been the best movie in the world for him.
Yeah. So that's my stories, anyways.
Yeah. The last one I've got, it was pretty awesome. I had a day where, and this is back when I had 6-7 years ago, when I was still an apprentice. But there was a day without work, and I was like, ooh, very nice. The new Friday the 13th reboot had just come out.
Yeah. And
so I was like, if I run, I could probably get down to the theater in time to go and catch it. So I got on the SkyTrain, I went down, and I run up, and I, like, it was the time for the movie to start was right when I ran up to the ticket window. And I bought my ticket, I'm like, oh god, I hope there's still a seat left. And so I take my ticket, and I'm walking down the hall, and I walk into the theater, empty. 100% completely empty. Private show. So I go in and I sit exactly in the very center, and I sort of stretch out, put my feet up on the chair in front of me, got my arms on the seat backs, the seats next to me, like, oh, this is so good. And then the next thing you know, just as the previews, are running through, another guy walks in, and he comes in and he walks through and he sits down, like right on that middle aisle between the front seats and the back seats there, and he sits down. He's got a backpack and he takes it off, and he reaches in and he pulls something out. No, I think it was a camcorder. I think he was probably gonna, but he reaches in and then he looks over his shoulder and sees me, and then he just puts it right back in the bag, zips it up, gets up, and walks right back out. And actually watched him leave, and just went bye bye.
You took a bite out of crime that day.
And then I sat back and I watched the entire. That was the most amazing movie theater experience I had ever had, having a completely private screening in a movie theater.
It's funny that you say that and you remember this story. It's funny that you triggered it with me. Is that I went to see a movie, Event Horizon, creepy mofo movie. I went in, but this is weird. This is. I wasn't going to tell this story. I forgot about it. So you said you were in the theater by yourself. I went in and I sat down, and the movie's just about to start, and there was nobody in the theater. And I looked back. I actually got little shivers from this because this is a true story. I looked back and I could see somebody just sitting there, and I couldn't tell because it's very dark.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's somebody else here. I'm like, okay, so I don't have the theater to myself. I watched the movie, and just as it's near the end of the movie, the movie wasn't over. I looked back and there was nobody there. And it was so weird.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those people into shadow people or any of that crap. But
That's just.
But it was just a spooky kind of moment. I'm like, did I see him to begin with? I'm like, that was really weird. And the movie had already creeped me out. Anyways, I watched it at the theater going, oh my god, that movie was creepy. So, guys, what are some of your creepy or strange, unusual theater experiences? Please, in the comments below, tell us a few. I'm sure we'll see a whole bunch.
And if you're that guy that was doing the thing in the theater, leave a message so that you can come hang out with us at the next theater.
We'll get you drunk first, and we'll bring some wings for you. It'll be awesome. So, anyways, guys, until next time.